The following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. We're off to a great start with the Dresden Files Roleplaying Game. Our group of teenagers met up and made it into the Cranston house. They're only partway through the dare of spending the night, and things are starting to get spooky. Enjoy the podcast. Hi, and welcome to the Shed for Adventures from the Shed. We're going to jump right back into the adventure we're running today, which is from the Dresden Files Role-Playing Game. Of course, find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com, iTunes, Facebook, all over the internets. We're going to jump right back into it. In the end of our last episode, Mike had found a loose floorboard in the attic and had gotten Andy to pry up the floorboard. And there is distinct creaking, of course, as the floorboard pries up. And, you know, I just decided to lose which page I was on. That's really nice. There you go, make the creak. Okay, so under the floorboard, and everyone can see this, I'm sure there's flashlight shining there as the floorboard comes up. You see a tarnished silver cup, an old paring knife, that has symbols scratched into the blade, and a book that looks kind of like a diary underneath the floorboard.
Dude, that knife looks cool.
Yeah, I dig knives.
Knives do look cool.
Yeah.
And speaking of cool, we're going to go around the table and say hi, starting with...
Hi, everyone. This is Mickie. For this adventure, I'm playing Jamie Collins, the psychic bookworm that has psychometry. I got that psychometry. Go ahead.
JJ here. I'm playing the infuriating JJ. I mean Mike Ng. And I have the ability to see dead people.
Some of them don't even know they're dead.
I'm Kurt. I'm playing Chris Stein. We're calling him Stein or Steiny. He is kind of the annoying trickster changeling who has dared his friends to join him in the Cranston house for the night.
Mm-hmm.
This is Chris. I'm playing Andy Drabick, the jock in the making.
And this is Joe. I am the game master for this session. And we, again, are playing the Dresden Files role-playing game, playing a pre-published adventure from Evil Hat, and that is Night Fears. We are in our second session. And who would like to take a minute or so and give us a little recap of what we did last time?
I can do that. So we set up our backstories a little bit with doing the collaborative backstory building that Dresden Files and is really, kind of pushing on people because it does help create a group dynamic before you start. And we set that up, and you'll have to listen to that episode because it gets fairly detailed. I think we spent almost half an hour going over it. So we finally ended up at the Cranston house where we broke in through a dilapidated window on the porch. And we set up shop. We set up our little base of operations in the study, and we explored the kitchen, living room, cellar, the master bedroom, the rest of the upper half of the house, and we are currently in the attic where we saw a wedding dress and...
Child's teddy bear.
Child's teddy bear. Mm-hmm. And that was when Kurt's character, Stein, tried to freak us all out by making us see snakes and cockroaches coming out of his backpack. Yeah. And Mike took a step back and stepped on a hollow floorboard, and we have just pried that up.
Mm-hmm. And underneath, again, we have found a tarnished silver cup, an old paring knife with symbols carved into the blade, and a book that kind of looks like a diary.
Are the symbols any that we would recognize, or what do they look like?
They look kind of runish, mystical kind of looking things.
So,
to the untrained eye.
Since I know that Jamie's the bookwormy type, I'm going to hand a diary to her to kind of peruse over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would take the book, and I would like to use my skill of investigation on the book to see if I can read or pick up anything through my senses.
Okay. While I have to look this up for a moment, you guys talk about what else is going on up in the attic here and how you guys are interacting.
Think this is the Holy Grail? Huh?
Huh? Oh. I mean, good thing Terry didn't come.
Right? He
Might
probably
have gotten overexcited here with the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Might have came in his pants. Unfortunate for everyone.
That's kind of what I was implying.
I know, but you were implying, and I was just
you're saying it straight out.
Way to be obtuse. Try to be a little bit more acute.
Oh Lord!
trying.
I just knifed to my
Wait, you want me to
collection.
try to be more acute?
I'm more acute, yeah.
Don't you know that trying is just the first step to failure?
Do or do not.
I can get behind that.
But
So according to this, using my psychometry,
you roll investigation.
I roll investigation, and I have to get good or better.
Yep. So let's do that. This will be our first roll because you're going to get something. And let's see what it works out as. So you're going to use a skill, and what does that skill give you? What is the benefit of it? Well, I guess it's actually a power for psychometry.
For psychometry, it's a power.
Yeah, and you can either find it on the other side of your sheet or on that page there that JJ has.
That's what I was just looking at. That's
All
what I
right.
just read. I assess the object history with touch and
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Investigation, roll good or better.
All right.
And investigation is one of my skills, so that gives
Which
me
has a plus
3.
Okay.
So I roll.
Yep.
Doesn't this also invoke an aspect of high concept psychic bookworm?
It depends. Do you want to use a fate point?
Do I have to use a fate point to invoke an aspect?
You do.
A 1 fate point to get a plus
You
2
can
to
do
your
it
roll
after
or
the
to
roll.
re-roll.
Well, let's see what I get. I don't need it. So
So what did you roll?
I see 1 plus,
Yep. And 3 blanks?
So she's up for
3 blanks.
Okay.
that's 4.
So you add 1 to your roll.
So I've got 3 plus 1, 4,
She just
Okay.
needs a good
which
3.
is great.
Okay, so
you
you...
need to get.
I only
You're
need a good or
actually-
better.
And let's discuss a little bit of what this mechanic is. So first off, we are using fudge dice, or I like to call them fate dice. And on these dice are 3 sides. There is a plus, a minus, and a blank. And when we roll, we take each plus and add that to the result, and we take each minus and subtract it from the result. And then we use what's called the ladder in this game, which is a range from -2 up to +8. We add all the stuff together, whether it's just something the player is doing, like in this case, or if it's something the player is doing that is opposed by a non-player character, or for that matter, another player, then those numbers are compared. In this case, as Mickie pointed out on her sheet, it says good or better. And she did get better than good, which is great.
which means that she generated shift.
Yep, 1 shift, and by the rules wording, it is a notable success. It's a clear success. It's solid and reliable. While it may not be inspired, it is absolutely workmanlike. So this is a good reading.
What
for
does
you.
the shift do?
It just makes it better. You
Yeah.
you were that much better. So like
there are only
it took her
positive
less
shifts.
time to read it. So she was able to skim through it and catalog everything or whatever it means.
Or I got like a really strong image from it. We'll see. GM's
And there's no
choice.
such thing as a negative shift. If you get below 0, if you get below flat result, then you just didn't do it. So it
Like
doesn't
within
get worse.
combat, you got 4 total, and they only have armor 2. You generate 2 shift, which means you deal 2 damage, or whatever it may be.
All right. Now, in this case, what Jamie sees, and remember, for the others, this is what Jamie sees, and it'll be up to her whether she relays everything as she interprets it. For a few moments, you're inside the mind of somebody who has clearly gone crazy. It's a woman who has just recently had a baby, suffering from postpartum depression and some other things going on in her mind that she can't quite make sense of. And you get this flash that something has happened with the baby and her husband is coming. And it ends.
Okay, totally freaked out right now.
And there's a lot of sketching and doodling in the book that gives you the same kind of impression of a disturbed mind.
This is a disturbed mind. So this is the kind of like the musings or the recordings of a disturbed mind is what's captured in this book.
Yes.
I would share that with the group.
And it's really a bunch of sketches and doodles. It's not words written out. It's not like a dear diary. Today I killed everybody. It doesn't say that.
You got all that from reading a book.
I
like
did,
10 seconds.
Andy. I did. Some of us have skills that go beyond our muscles.
Oh,
I got
snap.
skills that go
She
beyond my
went there.
muscles.
And also, anyone who looks at the pages, it's clear that this is the dark doodling of somebody.
So,
It's not a
This is someone that
normal
lived
mind.
here, because this book wouldn't be, like... Did you get a name anywhere in there?
No.
I want,
If I got a name, I would have told you a name.
You're,
All right.
you're pretty sure it's a woman.
Pretty sure it's a
I mean, postpartum depression and all.
does anyone know how to look up, like, property tax records or something to
Can we just
figure
go
out
to
who
Zillow
lived
or
here?
something and look
Actually,
at
yeah, we
address?
could just
you
go
want
to
to see
like,
what this place would sell for?
we can go to the
Probably get
county
something.
Yeah, just
here,
go to county assessor.
county assessor's
Real property
website
services.
and just look it up.
Yeah, that's...
Okay.
Whip out my handy
Is the
dandy
cup stained with anything?
tarnish.
It is just tarnished. Correct. It looks like, you mentioned, is it the Holy Grail? It looks something like that. It's kind of an ornate, kind of tarnished silver
I don't know if
cup.
like the inside was stained with anything.
Is there like blood in
No.
it? You think like
Well,
there's some
sounds
sort of
right.
blood sacrifice ritual? type
Doesn't look
thing?
like it, no.
I wouldn't think that.
Well, a freaky person might have done it, so you could think a freaky person did it.
Mike. No,
The
You're the freak.
I am.
So as you look it up, whoever's looking this up on their smartphone, you stumble across a newspaper article from the 1930s that says the short of it is Jerome Cranston murdered his wife and newborn baby, shutting the baby in the furnace in the cellar and then dismembering the body of his wife and hiding the pieces in the walls, and then he shot himself. That's the official newspaper story from the 30s, and that's when this place had gotten boarded up, has been reboarded several times from kids breaking in, you know. But it's been 70 years since.
Why haven't they burned this place down yet?
That's a good question. Why haven't you?
Are you suggesting something, Mike?
No, but I think the quickest way to get through this night is to go to sleep. So I'm going to go back down to the study. I'm kind of over this place.
You gonna? Is anybody going to check out any of the other stuff? I mean, you
wanna-
looked at the cup, yes.
I'll just gonna pocket the knife if,
Okay.
if anybody normally wants to look at it.
I'll take the cup because it's cool.
It is neat.
Should
yeah.
we let Weirdo Girl touch the knife and see if she gets any vibes from it?
What are you talking about? Vibes. What?
vibes?
Like she's,
Weirdo.
you,
She's picking up
weren't-
good vibrations.
Yeah, I'll
Same
throw the cup at her and make her
excitations.
catch it.
You're going to throw the cup at me?
Yeah, toss it.
Now you still have to use the power if you want to use it.
I would still have to use my investigation.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you're using the power still, so it still involves the roll, and it may not work. If you
I know.
roll enough negatives, it may not work.
It may not work. All right, I'll give it another try. That last
Okay.
book gave me the hibby-jeebies, but this
And it
stuff-
should have, yes. What do you got?
No, I got 3.
3 is still a good.
Yeah,
3 is still good.
total of 3, right?
Correct.
And that on our ladder, 3 is good. So
Yes.
that still works.
So what does this look like when she does this?
I'm just holding it and like close my eyes and kind of concentrate.
Andy just
So-
stares at you and confused. What the
Yeah,
fuck is he doing?
like you guys, I'm just holding something with my eyes closed.
Oh yeah, we don't know
Um,
that you.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot.
You don't know.
As far as
I
as
get why
far
your
as
parents
you
are
can
sending you to
tell,
another school.
the images you're getting
Shut
are
up,
like
Andy.
it's somebody practicing magic. Like you see maybe the cup moving around on a Ouija board or something, and then weird words being said over the cup. Like you're in the vision from the person, and you just see they're definitely trying different stuff.
This knife is weird, Andy. I wouldn't keep it if I
That
were
was the
you.
cup.
No.
He threw the cup.
I
You
threw
threw
the
the
cup
cup.
at
Oh,
you.
sorry. This cup is weird. I
Now,
wouldn't
to be
keep it,
fair,
Mike.
the same visions from the knife. Just
I wouldn't keep
So you were
this. This
right.
is a weird cup.
I want to. I'd like to use my lore on the cup.
okay.
It, according to this, I have finely tuned third eye,
Okay.
so it allows me to pick up the supernatural attached to the cup. Since you mentioned magic,
Okay.
I would like to see if I can feel a tether or something to
Does it say it involves a roll?
Lore. I got to roll lore.
Okay, so let's do that. And I will give this, because of what you're asking, I will give this a fair difficulty, which is a +2. And what you got?
No,
I have
this
a 3.
cancels that.
Okay.
That's a minus.
You can feel a string of attachment to the supernatural, like this was used in some sort of supernatural event. It in itself is not supernatural, but it has the resonance of something that was used for a supernatural event.
Okay.
Did you, Mickie, did you mention that Jamie shared that there was magic stuffs happening, or no? You kept that to yourself?
I just told him that that's a weird cup, that I wouldn't hold on to it.
Okay. All right. So then you're on your own with you
Okay.
feel the magical link. All right.
I feel like you know what? Put the knife in the cup and keep them together.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Just humor me. Just humor me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Who do you think put that under the floorboard?
Right? It had to have been the man.
The guy who owned this house?
Why does
Yeah,
it have
because
to
if
be
he
the guy?
dismembered his wife, she's not putting anything under the floorboard.
She could have put it under there before he chopped her up.
Oh,
You
by
don't
the
know.
way, if you guys want to make note of this,
Maybe
you would
chopped
have
her up with his knife.
You would have gotten this from the article. Jerome Cranston was the man of the house, the father. Maggie Cranston is the wife. And their baby's name was Toby.
Was it Lamont Cranston?
Nope.
The Shadow.
No, the shadow. Only the shadow knows.
What's the baby's name?
Toby.
Just because those names will come up again, it's worthwhile knowing it. So that when you're saying like the man of the house, you just looked it up minutes ago
Yeah.
or moments ago on your phone, so you know it was Jerome, Maggie, and Toby.
Jamie, would you mind checking that teddy bear out too?
Getting pretty tired.
I know, but I don't know. I'm getting a vibe.
Oh no, another guy with a vibe. Teddy bear, it's a cup, it's a knife, it's a book.
Well, all I can say is your grandpa's not with you now, and that's worrying me.
Yes. Don't talk about my grandfather again.
Understood.
Ooh.
But he's your guardian angel.
Someone's got his feathers.
Don't talk about it again. I understand, but I'm going to do it. I love it.
Classic
Someone's
Mike.
got
Yes,
his
that's
fur
right.
all backwards.
So we got 2 people with a vibe. I just want to point out for the record that in episode 1, Steiny wrote down that one of the items that he brought with him was a vibrator. So we got 3 people with vibes.
Somebody.
So I pull it out of my backpack and I'm like, yeah, 3
I was
of us
just going
got
to say
vibes.
somebody's going to find that in their sleeping bag, but not if you're still holding it. Yeah.
You're so gross, Stein.
I'm just like a Boy Scout. I'm always prepared.
Whew, doggy.
Yeah.
All right, so Mickie, you're rolling the psychometry again?
I crushed it with a
Crushed.
5, which is superb.
And this was with the teddy bear?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. You have very warm feelings of a very young child playing with this teddy bear. Like, it was the one thing that it could hold on to.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. There's a definite strong bond between the child and the bear.
So I would share that.
Okay.
All right, I feel better now because I got a nice
Yeah.
image.
A better vibe?
Very warm fuzzy. From the warm fuzzy bear. Fozzie bear.
Fozzie bear.
Waka, waka, waka.
Waka, waka.
waka.
I want to hold on to the teddy bear because it makes me feel better.
Okay.
So I take it with me.
All right. Anything else you guys want to explore around the house, or are we ready to take a nap? I know Mike said he wanted to take a nap. I mean, you are teenagers, and it's getting close to midnight.
Yeah, that's not happening yet.
I'm gonna carve the school's like sports team into the
Andy was here.
Nice. What is it? The Wildcats. It's the
Yeah, okay,
Wildcats.
Wildcats. Don't
All
worry.
right. I don't
So
even know
it-
what the school is, but it's the Wildcats.
Yeah, but all it is 3 slashes because that's what Wildcat slash.
Yeah. It works well with the monster logo too. That's nice. Yeah.
I don't know.
What's
I feel
going on,
like
Stein?
we didn't quite check out the kitchen. We just looked into the cupboards.
All right, Mr. Investigator.
Well, I mean, we've already found other personal items.
I'm gonna check out the furnace again because supposedly the kid got burned in there.
You think that's what those ashes were?
Oh, maybe I don't know.
That's what the newspaper said, that the kid was what was it?
They burned the
He
baby
shut the
Krueger
baby's
style.
body in the furnace.
Freddy Krueger style.
Yeah. He's going to pop back out, but only when you're sleeping. Wait, what? Okay.
So yeah, I want
So you're
to
gonna check out the what next?
I want to check out the kitchen more.
All right.
Are we going downstairs?
Yeah,
Stein, you go
I'm
first.
done. I'm done with this room. I'm over this room.
Who made you the de facto leader?
No one.
Depends.
made me
Are
the
you
de facto
following
leader.
him?
It just you gotta. Yeah, I'm done with this room. I'm going to go and get a screwdriver, and I don't know. He's got a knife. I got a screwdriver now.
I'll keep the teddy bear.
All right. So in the kitchen.
What do you got, Stein?
I'm
Other
just-
than
got
your
the
vibrator.
I'm just hanging out, changing the speeds.
You're so gross.
So
If
as
you look at my list of items, it's actually pretty hilarious.
Okay.
I'm going to save the rest for later, but
okay, cool.
it literally is on there.
Vibrator.
Yep.
That's great. I should use that against you at some point. That'd be fun.
He runs away and
On the
trips on
floor,
his
on the
vibrator.
linoleum floor,
Falls
you
off.
just make out like the shape of a large dark stain on the linoleum.
Ew. Is this where she died?
Is it?
Can only he see it? Or-
No, everyone can see it. I mean, if you point it out, everyone can see it.
Yeah,
It was just
I-
one of those things that it's dusty in an old area, and until you really take a close look at things, you're not going to see it.
All right, I'm totally creeped
Is this
out
like
now.
closer to a counter or?
No, it's just on the floor somewhere. It's not specifically close to anything. It has no significance as to location, just that it is there. There's a large
Right.
dark stain.
Well,
And of
I'm-
course, there would have been other stuff in here when the house was actually occupied and furnished.
I'm going to put the hammer through my belt loop,
Okay.
and I'm going to hold on to the screwdriver.
Okay.
I got
And
the
it is some screwdrivers. I mean,
Yeah.
Pick a kind of screwdriver that you like, and you can have that.
flathead screwdriver.
There you go. To jam into Andy's flat head. When he pisses
Am I
you off
implying that
with
he's a Neanderthal?
ooh, that would be... Well, I can't say the
If
other
you
one.
took a Phillips instead of a flathead, you could walk around with it and you could say, I'm the captain now.
This is true. Unfortunately, I'm not Somalian.
You watch way too much television.
Captain Phillips.
Oh, guys.
Classic Stein.
Classic
It
Stein.
is. Any other things you wanted to check out?
You guys don't even know Nightmare on Elm Street, and Stein's over here thinking about Rosemary's Baby. He's a little creeped out because
Yeah, that's
he
good.
knows his horror movies. And
Way too
Maybe we'll
much.
find a skeleton in the oven.
so
You think you
guys-
find some bones in there?
Oh,
Because
maybe.
bones don't burn unless it gets real, real hot.
Yeah.
Well, that's a coal furnace. Whatever that means. Okay. So you want to check out the furnace again just for kicks?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'd go with you guys because I don't want to be alone anymore. This house is creeping me out, but I just won't tell you guys.
Just an old guy killed his wife. I mean, come on, it happens every day.
Jeez, what world are you
Nobody likes to visit Andy's house.
no kidding.
She just wouldn't shut up.
Some
all
guys
right,
get
let's
tired of
see.
the crap.
No. No, except for just some really old ashes, there's nothing in the furnace.
You look disappointed.
Yeah.
Maybe we could
Right.
burn that book and the teddy bear in there.
Could
Not
be.
the teddy. What's wrong with the teddy?
I don't know.
Do you want to burn the book?
I didn't bring a lighter or anything.
I'll
so
have a lighter.
Of course you do. Boy
Always
Scout.
prepared, right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
I would totally have a lighter because cherry bombs.
Oh, yeah.
In order to set them off. I would have thought stink bombs.
Yeah.
There's a
little
girl
bit of everything.
present.
A little bit of everything there.
All right, so where are you guys going to set up your camp? Now that you've been all the way around the house, you had talked about, I think it was the study.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
feel
works.
better in the living room. It's more open.
It is more open.
Yeah.
Study's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
The whole house is
I
creepy.
was going to say it's got the same decor everywhere.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Let Mr. Dare Boy, where are we staying?
Yeah.
You're trying to scare us to see if we can't stay here.
Where did you think was creepy?
Everywhere.
How about
we should all
Totally
split
stay
up.
in the attic.
Yeah, we should stay
should
in
stay
the
in the
attic.
attic.
right? Oh,
No, God, you guys are nuts.
Yeah,
No way.
Let's stay in the attic. Let's do
Why
it.
would we stay in the attic?
Why not? That's where all the cool stuff
Why
is.
not? I mean, you think there's ghosts here?
And
No.
Mike's like
why would?
Yes.
What's the difference between the attic and the study? Shouldn't matter.
In the
There's
attic, if we have to.
altitude.
No, like
Attic's very defensible.
It's harder to get out of the attic. What are we going to do? Climb out the window?
Just roll out one of those.
What are we going to have to climb out of the window from?
All the windows are boarded up.
I don't want to stay in the attic.
The only window that is not securely boarded up is the one you came in through. Every other entrance, exit from the home is securely boarded up.
I got a hammer.
It would take, to be frank with the rules, it would take a roll to get out of the house except for the way you came in. That's the way it turns out.
So let's stay in the living room because that's closer to where we can get out.
What do we need to get? Are you worried about getting out?
I'm just saying, what if we had to leave or something?
For what reason?
I don't know. It could happen.
As long as we don't burn the house down, we're good.
And if you do, you still want to get out through the living room.
That's true.
That's true.
All right, I don't care. We don't have to sleep in the attic. We can sleep in the study. You guys are a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, let's do the study.
Pussies.
Kurt just made some fun motions.
I got a spot. We should, wherever that hole, we should go hang out in that hole.
That was the master
Good
bedroom.
spot.
Down in a hole.
You guys are so weird.
Oh, I'm the
I
weird
don't understand what they're doing.
I'm the only normal person here, apparently.
So now, as you guys start to set up in the study, there was something I missed earlier with the ghost stories that I do want to revisit because it's actually a game mechanic that does further this plot or this adventure a bit. Either going back to the stories you heard, comparing them to the news article, or just now starting to guess at what happened in the house rather than just what's on the news. I want to either hear a retell of your story or something new. And are you specifically trying to scare anybody else? Because what we're going to do at that point is you will be then making a mental attack using your intimidate at everybody else's intimidate or deceit against everyone else's discipline. And that can actually start to affect the mental state of each person by you trying. And this has happened already. You guys have tried to scare each other a little with the snakes and cockroaches and what have you. So again, either revisit the story you already had or come up with something new based on what you've learned as you guys are settling down to go to sleep.
I would like to look out the window we came in, out toward the swing. And last I saw of his grandfather was when Mike came up when Andy came up the drive. So I want to see if his grandfather is still out by the tree.
He is gone.
All right. That doesn't make me feel good.
Do you react at all?
Yeah. I look a little bit more shaken now.
I think it would be funny if he came in and told Andy, your grandfather's gone.
Yeah. I knew that last week. You got any more of those ho-hos?
Yeah.
I mean,
I brought a whole box. I got zebra cakes too.
Zebra cakes!
Awesome.
I totally pound 2 zebra cakes, the whole pack.
Boys,
Chase it
I
with
sit
some
down and
Monster.
take up my dinner.
So what about story? Are you trying to scare anyone with your ghostly vision?
I am actually not going to.
Okay.
And if one starts getting told, I'm going to put in my earphones and listen to music.
Okay.
Because I'm already shaken.
Okay. Anybody?
So I'm going to add that aspect of shaken.
Clearly, my story was right. I mean, I've talked about demons and all kind of crazy stuff coming through here, and this guy, like, he was clearly like sacrificing his baby and his wife in order to make some pact with the devil.
He was just some whack
up,
job
Stein.
that couldn't take family life and just ended it.
I think as soon as we go to sleep, like, this place is going to go nuts with demons and devils. They're all going to come up out of the pipes and, like...
Out of the pipes. Maybe you should go get the pipe wrench then.
All right, so let's do this, because Stein is clearly trying to get to the others.
Right.
Especially, he's the one that came up with the dare, so it makes sense.
Yeah, and he has a playlist of spooky music on his phone that is included on my list of items. And so at this point, I discreetly tap my phone so that it starts making, like, cheesy Halloween, like, spooky music.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. And then maybe a scream.
So let's do this. Both.
Oh, well, was it too much? Was that too much?
I'm used to staying outside with my Boy Scout troop out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but you don't have, like, demon-worshipping psychos there, do you?
I got animals that can eat me.
Both Andy and Jamie will roll a discipline roll. And if you do not have discipline listed, then that is It's at a 0, so you're rolling with a 0.
Well, you have 4 slots and your average.
Yeah, that's right. If you don't have discipline listed, add it to your average or your fair. And then you'll have either a +1 or +2. If you already have it listed.
Or you can
use
just
it
not,
where it
and then
is.
you go crazy.
Yeah.
Such a great story.
And in the meantime, for Stein, you're going to be using Intimidate or Deceit, whichever you choose.
I have deceit.
Okay. And what we're going to be doing is comparing rolls.
So I
So
would
let's
have.
see how it goes. So make a note of what your results are between Jamie and Andy, and then somebody get some dice over to Kurt to roll for Stein.
So you take
-1 from that, yeah.
Okay. You know what yours is, Chris? Okay. Stein, make your roll to see
So I
if
have
you
to
can
use
freak them out.
deceit, not performance.
It is either Deceit or Intimidate,
Okay.
because you're affecting their mental state.
Okay.
Performance, to me, would be more of a social.
I have as a power pointed performance may
Okay.
target specific person or group when performing for an audience. I don't know if
Okay.
that does anything, but it's one of my stunts or powers.
In this case, I would say let's not use it to
Okay.
see if the house can freak them out more.
Okay.
But for now, you're just trying to
So I
get
got
'em.
2 minuses, and I have a +2 in deceit. So
So you end up with a 0 total.
You have a +3, Kurt.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
in good.
Yeah, I was looking at 2
0,
there.
1.
+3, so I have a 1.
Okay.
Which is
And
average.
so, Andy, what was your roll?
I'm up at 2.
Okay. And Jamie had
1.
1. Okay, so the way it works is essentially you freak her out enough, but maybe Jamie was already freaked out enough that it doesn't do any extra. And Andy is just still in his state of, BS.
Yeah.
So I'm all like,
Classic Stein.
shut up, Stein.
So it causes no additional mental strain.
Yeah.
And then you guys will slowly drift off to sleep.
It was all fun and games for Scully till she got eaten by a zombie.
Yeah, maybe the boy's spirit's in the teddy bear.
All right, you guys are sleeping on that side of the room.
It is a big room.
I'm all sugared up and monstered up.
That's true.
So we're on this side of the room, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go over there. I'm like gonna cuddle up to Andy, and I'm gonna toss my vibrator over to Jamie over there. Say, that's fine. You can have that side of the room.
You're gross. God. Why do I hang out with you?
By gross, you mean super suave.
Disgusting.
And
So glad I'm leaving this school next
You
year.
totally are gonna miss me. You're gonna miss
wish.
me so much.
You wish. Get out of here. Gross.
Come on, Stein, leave it go, man.
Stein is a very awkward teenager, isn't he?
Yeah. Can't take
I'm
you
just
anywhere.
sitting there.
He's trying
watching.
a little too hard.
Definitely.
Can't take you anywhere, man.
You're just watching.
I'm just watching. I got my earphones in, just watching them throw the vibrator around.
Okay.
So nasty.
Spin the vibrator.
Was that too far?
So nasty.
So actually what I want to do is we normally do not have any other dice in a Fate system, but because I want to try and do this a little random, we're going to use the big die that JJ and Mickie got me at Dragon Con, I think it was 2 years ago, out of the dice bag that Mickie made for me. That took 2 years to make. And what we're going to do here is each person's going to roll it, and whoever gets, I'll say the lowest number. Whoever gets the lowest number will have the first thing happen to them. Then we'll do again and again and again. For those listening, I will be using the suggestions that are in the adventure, and if I think of something different, I'll use them. But for now, there are a bunch of suggestions of things that start to happen. We're in Act 2 now, and as you decide to go to sleep, some things start to happen. It is a haunted house, after all. Except Andy doesn't believe that. So everybody go ahead and roll,
Just
and
how.
let's see who ends up with the lowest number. So go ahead and say the number as you roll that big
2.
old die. So Andy has a 2.
5.
Stein's got a 5.
5.
Jamie's got a 5.
3.
3. All right, Andy. All right.
Probably the first guy. Last guy still up.
So are we asleep?
Yeah.
Everybody is either sleeping or dozing off at this point. So we're gonna go at it's somewhere after midnight. So you guys probably spent a couple hours looking around, getting suitably creeped out where people did get creeped out. Debated over which room to hang out in. Ended up in the living room, and it is
study.
Study.
study. I said living room. I'm sorry. So you guys are in the study, farthest away from the exit. That's great. And It just got to the point where all the joking and the personal fondling of Stein has settled down, and people are just getting ready to doze off.
I settled down for some personal fondling.
Yeah, there's that too. Andy, out of nowhere, you feel like you're awake, and you catch a brief glimpse of a woman crouching down over you. It vanishes immediately.
Whip up my flashlight. Look
And
around.
I make a mental attack against Andy. So I will make a roll here, and I have a 4. So you have to get 4 or better to negate it.
Are you
use
rolling
my
fate
discipline?
dice?
I am rolling fate dice as well,
Can I
yeah.
use my discipline still?
Yes, mental attacks, it says I'm sorry, it's conviction. Under mental here,
I
it
got
says
you.
conviction.
But I can't use
So
my
that's what you
discipline.
use by default.
Okay.
Is conviction a skill?
Yes,
So if I don't have it, I could add it.
Yes.
I could add it?
you can add it. You can add it to either fair or average.
As long as you have enough slots
Yeah, I
there.
got
Mm-hmm.
it.
So,
Probably a good one to have for
take a
this
look at
adventure.
that.
Yeah, for my guy.
Mental fortitude.
Uh-huh.
All right, so 5.
Hot dang.
All right. So
I see 3 pluses.
He generated a shift against her.
that doesn't happen. Essentially, I failed, but there's no shift in a
Yeah.
fail. No negative shift in a fail. So that didn't happen. All right. So it was just, maybe it was part of your dream
Yeah.
or something.
Still get the flashlight around, make sure,
Okay. Let's go through the roll again and see who gets the next odd thing happen to them. Say what you got.
1.
I think it's you. 5.
5. 5.
All right.
Is Andy again?
Yeah.
All right.
Bring it on.
That's
And it's funny here. So the mental, I read this, I read it off the character sheet wrong, so bear with me because we're going to adjust here. But the mental stress track is modified by the conviction skill. However, it's the discipline skill that is almost always called upon to defend against mental attacks. So for you. Now, magic can also help, but Andy, don't magic.
What's that?
So it is discipline. So that's what we would use this
I would
time.
have crushed it even more last time.
And at 4 pluses.
So maybe as you're just starting to drift back off to sleep, over in the living room area, you're pretty sure you hear something like the monster can, like it's trying to get out of the wall.
Okay,
So it's
I
like
thought that was in
rattling
master
the
You
wall?
hear, you hear some noises coming from within the wall of the living room.
Okay.
And this one for me is actually an average attack, so I will be adding to that. And, well, I get a 1. So you go right ahead and defend against it using your discipline.
It's a 3.
3, okay. So maybe it was just the wind or something, or maybe it was Stein farting.
Yeah,
Who
it's
knows?
a rat or something in the wall.
Well, that's
Mouse,
Stein as
something.
well, right?
Yeah.
Next,
Teabag
let's
Stein,
roll
take a
up
picture.
again. Let's see who gets it this time.
Uh-oh.
2.
Uh-oh.
6.
Bam! 6. There you go. 2.
2.
All right, you know what? I think I can have this happen to 2 people. Hold on a second.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
They're still asleep at this point, right?
Yeah.
Or dozing?
No, you both roll. Both roll again. I just most of
rolling.
these are really a one-person
roll.
thing,
Okay,
so
here.
I'm going to go with that.
We're rolling this one.
Yeah. See who gets the lowest number here. All right, so Mike.
Mike's gonna flip, man.
He's going to leave screaming,
as long as he leaves his ho-hos and monster, we're good.
forget him. I just want snacks.
Maybe it's something like the end of a song or something that you were listening to starts to cause your eyes to open a little bit, and when you open your eyes, you swear that the walls and ceiling are dripping blood.
Oh, dude.
And
The Shining
I
time?
make an attack at a 1, which is average.
2.
All right. So it clears quickly. Your vision clears quickly. Maybe it was just the darkness, because it's darker than it was when you fell asleep. All the flashlights have probably been turned off. I don't know if anybody may have left a little nightlight kind of thing going.
Danny's not here anymore, Mrs. Torrance.
All right.
Rad Rob.
Next.
Rad Rob.
Next.
You know
Let's
what? Actually,
roll off again. Okay, go ahead.
Can I use my ghost speaker thing and go? Is anybody there?
Give me a second. I want to cross this off. And tell me, what does that do?
So, Ghost Speaker. I see dead people all the time. But my ability is more instinctual, and I am not a spellcaster. I have zero problem perceiving the presence of spirits and ghosts unless they are deliberately trying to conceal themselves. And ghosts have no problem perceiving me as noticing them as well.
Okay.
Spirits get a +2 to communicate with me.
Okay. Let's use that the next time you have the lowest number.
Okay.
Because I have a couple of things that fit that perfectly.
Okay.
Okay.
Want us to roll the big die
Yes,
again?
roll it again. Yep.
3.
So we've used 3 out of about
4.
10 things, so I want to go through most of them.
Sorry, Stein is just hanging out here snoring.
Yeah.
All right.
3.
Mickey and Kurt roll off.
Yep. You go for it, y'all. That's a 2.
That was a 2.
Yeah.
2.
Oh,
Do it again.
You're vying.
Oh,
You're
no.
vying for who's the worst off.
Oh, no.
Jamie.
Shame.
Let me see here.
She's jumping out a window. She's
Okay.
Running
she's
screaming.
cowardly lying out the window.
Bye, Felicia.
Jamie, when you wake up briefly from something that startled you, a vision of this woman and the infant in your head in your dream, and it startles you, and you look out of the door of the study, and you swear it's the kitchen out there. It should be the living room. And I make a roll of a 4.
Versus discipline, correct?
Discipline, yeah.
I've got 4. Nope, excuse me. 3.
3?
All right, because that
3,
was
yep.
that. 3.
Okay. So I exceed yours by 1. So you have 2 choices now. You either mark the box number 1 or circle number 1 on your mental track.
Or
because
you
are
can
taking
spend a
1.
fate point.
Huh?
She can spend a fate point at a +1.
Oh, yeah. I guess
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
spend a fate point to add 1 to your roll to match it. Or you take the 1 point of the mental stress, or mark the circle 1 of the mental stress, or take a mild consequence to negate it, because it would be 2 points.
I'll do a mild consequence.
Yeah? So tell me how you would overcome the feeling you have of having seen the doorway lead to the wrong room. How do you cope with that?
I would wake up, sit up, and kind of get into a meditative state and just say, it's just in your mind. We've gone through this. You talk to your therapist. They're not really there.
Okay.
She's just kind of talking herself back off the ledge.
Okay.
So you have to create an aspect.
And that's what I'll do that, and if you agree with it, it's what we'll use. So for now, you're going to be afraid to walk through any door. You will
Okay.
not be the first one to walk through a door. You will
Got it.
only follow somebody else.
Is that the consequence?
That is the consequence she took. So she has a mild one. Now, with that in play, you can't choose another mild consequence. You now have to choose a moderate one next.
Ah,
So that little used box next to it, it means that
Got it.
you can't do that one again until it in itself is resolved, which probably won't happen in this session.
so the consequence is an aspect. It creates an aspect.
It does, yeah.
And does that count towards the 7 max that you can have?
It's not really a max. You can have as many aspects as you want.
Yep.
The point is to use them. And if you don't use them and you find they don't match your character, you drop it, you come up with something else.
Okay.
All right. All right. Let's let me mark that one off and let's roll again. So again, this is taking
think it's gonna be
place over the time
Third
that
time's the
you
charm.
guys are sleeping when you're trying to get through the night.
Like an aspect that you could have is non-believer.
Oh yeah, right.
And you could use that to bolster your rolls if you want.
Okay. Okay.
Good idea.
I'm going to stick with the noises for Andy. Andy, footsteps upstairs wake you up. And when you open your eyes, everyone is in the room with you. Ooh, I rolled really good for that. You're going to need to beat a, where's I got to add this number. Add that to that. You need to beat a 4.
All right. That got a 3.
Okay.
But I could use my I don't know.
So that's 1 point
Unless I
on your
burn it-
mental
burn
stress
it-
track.
Burn a fate point, and you
Yeah.
get a +2 if you use a non-believer thing or something. You got to make it fit your aspect, get a +2.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get just a blank
Yeah.
+1.
I'd say just the house creaking. It's an old house, you know.
Okay.
So you're going to invoke non-believer?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to burn a fate
I will
point?
take the fate point. All right. So then it doesn't bug you. It ends up not causing you mental stress.
Yeah. Gotcha.
All right. Well, let's go on to the next
Rationalized
one.
Nothing's happened to me yet.
Not yet.
It's about to. I'm
4.
sure of it.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. 4 and a
Nothing's
1
happened to me yet.
and a 3 and a 3. So
I
hey,
do believe it's
Stein.
you, Stein.
Stein got the 1.
You feel your vibrator someplace you don't want.
That vibrator's in the wrong place.
I wake up and my sheets are strangely sticky.
Who was it that wanted to go back and check the furnace? Was it
Me. It
Stein?
was me.
It was Andy? Okay. Let's see. I'm going to pick one here. All right. Stein, you wake up shivering. You can see your breath in front of your face, and it feels like there's icicles on your toes. It is freezing in here. Oh, my gosh. I just rolled all blanks. So, you only have to beat a 1.
And this is discipline?
Discipline, yes, sir.
Kind of funny if the guy that did the dare was the one running out of the house.
That would be pretty cool. Ooh, you got negatives. That's nice.
I have 2 negatives, and I don't have it selected
You
yet.
couldn't
as a skill,
write
but
it
I
in.
could write it in now.
You could put it as a +2,
If you ever got a spot,
which would
available.
make it even out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
would
would still be a 0, which would still be effective.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I would do there. That's fine, and I will take the consequence.
So you don't need to.
No, you got it.
You don't need to. You matched it. I had a.
Oh, matching is
Yeah.
a win?
Yeah.
No, he has a 0. He has a 0.
Yeah, I have 2 negatives with my +2.
Oh, then I had a
zero.
1. Okay, I'm
Right.
sorry. Then you
Right.
mark 1 point on your mental track,
No,
or you can take a consequence to give it a -2.
I'm going to take the...
-2 meaning you wouldn't take any mental stress.
Right.
But now come up with, how do you deal with this? How do you deal with this feeling?
I need to snuggle with Jamie to warm up.
Get out of my sleeping bag, Stein.
That's gonna be the next time you roll. You wake up and you know,
No, I mean, what do you
Stein's next to
mean?
you.
Like, so I mean,
I want to know how you deal with it, and then I'm going to propose a consequence. And
Right.
as long as we agree with it, like we did with Jamie, then that is the consequence,
I mean,
the aspect that you will have.
I would
for
jump
now.
up and like start doing jumping jacks and like running
Yeah.
in place and being like a weirdo Richard Simmons aerobic dude.
Well, that's actually kind of cool because that could explain why the next person has a quick wake up. In the meantime, what I would propose as a consequence, as the aspect for this, is you're going to be shivering, and I would like to say it's something like your teeth are going to be chattering for a while.
Okay.
So that could easily give you away if somebody's looking for that clicky noise.
Okay.
You are convulsing more than your vibrator. Nice. All right.
That's a lot of
Next
convulsing.
one. Somebody is about to be woken up by the jumping jacks in the room and is going to find something else happening.
5. 1.
1.
I think it's Mike Eng.
It is Mike.
All right, Mike. All right. So this one. Let me look here. All right. One of the things I had mentioned earlier is almost every room in the house has plaster knocked off of the walls, so there's like holes in some of the walls. As you wake up to, Mr. Silly Pants doing jumping jacks and his teeth chattering, you're sure you saw something in one of the holes in the wall,
Like
when
peeking through.
when you go over to look at it, you go to look at the hole, arms suddenly reach out and grab you.
Body parts.
And that's
Do I
it.
see- can I
This is
see
actually
that, or-
good. You would just see him doing whatever. He would be going over to look at the hole in the wall. And I have a 4.
I have a 3.
Okay. So you can suffer 1 mental stress, or use a consequence, or do your use a fate point with an aspect or something.
I'm going
Okay.
to say that because I am shaken and wary,
Yeah.
I like real far away. It
Yeah.
went to reach for me, and I backed away quickly
Okay.
before it could actually touch me.
I would take a fate point for that. And he hands me one of his 2
So you get a +2 for that, is that right?
A +2, yeah.
All
And
right.
then I'm going to ask the wall, is anyone there?
You are pretty sure that what you saw going back into the wall that missed you was a ghost. There's no answer to your question. but you're
Okay.
pretty sure.
I'm
it
going
was a
to
ghost.
speak to the hole again. You can talk to me if you want.
So now, while you're doing your calisthenics, he's talking to the wall. Just so you know. And you guys are in, I would say, a room that's no more than, 12 by 12 or so. Probably not much bigger than this shed that we're in.
Yeah.
So there's no chance you can't hear him.
It's weird. Are you guys cold?
They're sleeping.
They're sleeping.
Oh.
Now, you could wake them up, of course, but...
Yeah, I'm snuggling with Jamie. I'm the captain now.
all right. So, JJ, the question was...
You can talk to me if you want. I listen.
Give me a moment here because I have to look something up. There's how the different things react, so I need to look that up.
Yeah, so I mean, if
Perhaps,
there's multiple ghosts, they might hear me talking now.
Yeah, you got it. And let's see him. Hey, Kurt just stepped out so he could go do jumping jacks outside.
Yeah, I wonder if it matters if you call it by name or not.
That's a good point.
He calls the spirit by name.
I got to find the right page here. I keep mixing up my pages.
Gosh.
I do. It's crazy, isn't it?
What was
Looking
the
for page 8.
Who was the ectomancer in the Dresden Files? What was
Morton.
his- Morton. That's right.
No, it was not. Morton. There it is. Getting closer here. Let's see. Did you say you had lore?
I do have lore, yeah.
Okay. Let's do, while you have learned about this and you just saw the ghost, let's see if any of that sparks any memories for you of maybe other stories you heard when you were younger or something you may have read once upon a time. Use your lore skill and tell me what you got.
A 5.
Okay.
A superb.
That is pretty good.
Superb.
So you are going to, as you're thinking about who's there and what's going on, you're pretty sure you read once upon a time
Classic Stein.
that, yeah, Kurt just practically tripped over himself coming in. But what you remember reading in different rumors you have heard wasn't that that Jerome Cranston killed his wife and baby, but that that Maggie actually killed the baby, and then Jerome got all pissed off at her and killed her afterwards. So it's different from the story, and you're pretty sure what's going on is there's somebody hiding in the walls. And when you got close enough, they just tried to grab you.
Okay.
Somebody or something?
A ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say somebody because, well, it's a spirit body-ish
Yeah. Right?
thing of sorts.
How did you know that rumor? Or
I rolled a lore.
He has a lore skill that got him there. All right, let's get another one or two of these odd things happening because you guys have started to avoid them, but in using some consequences,
3.
it may affect you afterwards.
1. Oh, no.
Oh no!
Somebody rolled a 1. Somebody rolled a 1. Roll a 1. Damn it.
Damn it! All right, Jamie.
Jamie's up.
Jamie. Let me find one we haven't done yet. Oh, this one should be good for Jamie.
Teddy bear
Yeah.
catcher.
So you wake up hearing some jumping jacks and Mike talking to the wall, and you're sure amidst that sound you also hear what sounds like a baby crying in the cellar. That's kind of creepy, isn't it?
That's pretty jacked up.
Yeah.
That is jacked up.
And let's see, I have that, and I had that. I have a 4.
Oh.
Oh, what you got?
That's no fun.
do you have a 2?
Yes. However,
That's one of my better rolls.
I'm not a kid anymore.
Yeah, and
So I know that there's no such thing as ghosts. Like, that's
Really?
shit from, like, when you're a little kid and you tell spooky stories around the campfire. Right? So I know that it's just tricks of my mind. There isn't a baby in the cellar.
okay, I'll buy that. He's just talking to the wall, so that's probably freaky enough.
Yeah.
All right. You got out of that one. We'll do one more here. I think this is where I want to go. Yeah, one more. What you got?
But you're burning
Three.
fate points. I mean, we're burning resources every which way.
Yeah, and that's the idea.
Yep.
At some point, you won't have them. All right, so I saw a 3. What else?
Yep.
So
There's
that's
2
me.
3s.
Yeah, so we got Jamie and Andy. Andy got a 1. Mike? Was it Mike? Got a 6.
I got
All
a
right.
6.
So Andy gets this last one.
So now we're all awake now. We're
Yeah.
all officially awake.
So now you're awake. They're just milling about in this room. It's just, they're weird. And
Jumping jacks.
so you just step out to the doorway to peek out into the living room to see what's going on. And down, if you look down the living room to where that dining room door is, you see the shadowy form of a man at the end of the hallway for just an instant. And let's see if that freaks you out.
And he's
Well, a 5 might
hell
do it.
no.
Nice.
Not if
got
he
a
rolls a
5.
5 as well.
Son of a bitch. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can do anything with a character.
Are you going to?
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if there's anything that Andy's got.
Can it complicate
let's
his
see.
life?
And because you're the pure mortal, I've got to try and get some of your fate points. So here's what I'm gonna do.
You got one of them, right?
Well, I'm gonna try and get more. 'Cause what did you have? 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. Here's the deal. Because you are, I'm going to go with your great expectations as a trouble. You're really expecting nothing to be going on in this house, but now twice you've been woken up by a figure. Or you've seen a figure after you're woken up that shouldn't be there. That doesn't account for the 3 people you're here with, and it's kind of going to start freaking you out. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to add to my roll to do 2 points, and you can take this fate point, or you pay me a fate point for it not to happen.
I'll pay you one.
All right. So you're just on the edge, you're freaked out, but not there.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so now everyone's up.
Yeah.
And clearly something odd is happening. Even if you don't believe it, it's odd enough that this probably has never happened to
Yeah, I still want to
before.
check out the kitchen with my
Yeah.
flashlight. Maybe
Okay.
because maybe somebody's in the house. Maybe
I
somebody.
think it's totally reasonable that you would be blaming this on the monsters and zebra cakes at this point. Like you just had too much.
Yeah,
sugar.
or maybe like some homeless guy like wandered in or
That's a good
something.
point.
I gotta check out
Yeah.
the kitchen.
Yeah.
I'll go grab that pipe wrench. Make sure I gotta cave some heads in. Or
There you
something.
go.
So we're all leaving, right?
Gonna go turn me some
I'm
No,
pie.
not
I'm going to
saying-
the kitchen.
I'm not saying.
I just want to
this-
double check. Like
Yeah. That's not bad, Kurt. Thanks.
Seriously?
I can't even remember the name of the guy who said he didn't want to hear burps anymore. That was like 2 years ago, and we were pretty good about it till today. Thanks, Kurt.
Thanks,
You know,
Kurt.
we just
That
lost
might be
him.
my first real burp on the podcast.
That's probably your first real burp.
That's true.
You're a
That's
real
true.
boy now.
I'm not a kid anymore.
You're a big boy now.
Does everybody have "I'm not a kid anymore"?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That's pretty
That
cool. All right.
area.
I thought it
Um,
was,
That
but I
and feet in
wasn't
the
sure.
water, probably.
I want to. Can I use my ghost speaking and because I have contacts as a fair, and I can use contacts as a skill with ghosts.
Okay.
I want to start trying to establish a rapport with the people of the house.
Okay.
Of what I think. So I'm going to go Jerome, Maggie, Toby. Like I'm going to start speaking their names.
Okay.
You got like the whole little seance thing going on over there?
No, but like I'm going to be, I'm going to be speaking in a normal voice, but not, yelling or anything. But is there anyone here with me?
Okay. So
Just
here's
us,
what I
Mike.
want to do.
Just
I want
us.
you to. Does that power have a skill associated with it?
It depends on what I'm trying to do. If they are trying to hide themselves, is investigation. Otherwise, I can establish a rapport with contacts.
So then, give me an investigation roll.
Okay.
Because at this point in Act 2 is where things are starting to happen. Things aren't
I'm going
completely
to
kicked off yet.
add a skill.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
I know.
And
That's a
Let
4.
me tell you, I was just going to say, let me tell you, you want to get good or better, and good is +3.
He's got it
Perfect.
You got great.
All right, so Kurt, what were you going to
I'm
say?
going to add a skill. I know I could wait until I needed it, but
Yeah.
it's consistent with how I view my character that you would have alertness as a skill.
I thought you were going to go with a-hole.
It does start with an A.
Douchebaggery.
And it's unfortunately, I think my last slot is, so it has to be average. But That includes avoiding surprise, combat initiative, and passive awareness.
And what I was going to mention with that, in the book itself, it actually mentions that in this adventure, I shouldn't say in the book, in this adventure, since there shouldn't be any actual physical combat, alertness hardly plays in at all. If you've come up with a way that it's used, then that's great. But the way the rules play out, something like 90-something% of alertness usage is initiative. And since we probably won't do initiative, you'll have to find the other uses for it.
Okay.
I just want to mention that because it is specifically called out in this adventure, and that's how it's used in the rules. Mike, you get vibes of fear from the walls, and you're pretty sure that it's coming from Maggie, who's fearful of Jerome. And because you got a +1, I'll add a little bit that there is just unbridled anger and confusion coming from the basement. The cellar. Sorry, it's called the cellar in here.
Okay.
So you can't even make out what it means or
So
what
none of them
it
are
is.
trying to communicate with me other than I'm getting just feelings.
Exactly. You're getting that.
All right.
It does seem, though, that they're aware of you. They're just...
I've made my presence known,
Yeah.
but...
Yep. They're just... I don't know, speaking out isn't the right word, but they're feeling out what's going on. And you're getting a handle of that.
He announced his presence with authority.
With
what? With authority.
With authority.
Yeah. And you were going to go check out the
Kitchen for me, yeah.
Okay.
'Cause maybe I'm thinking somebody snuck in
Okay.
while we were sleeping.
Are you going by yourself, or are we all going with you?
I'll go by myself.
Yeah, you're not afraid. Whatever.
So then,
Some drunk homeless guy.
as we're wrapping up this episode, as you are walking down that...
Andy.
Andy.
wow.
Mike's talking to the wall.
Andy.
Hey,
Wow,
Mike, what?
yes.
Stop making out with the mall.
He is.
I know, right?
He is. He's found the right hole in the wall.
Is it a glory
He's,
hole?
Yes. Nice way to mute your phone, Mickie.
Whatever.
It's one of those. It's the horror movie trope. As you're walking towards
gets
the
longer.
kitchen, it gets farther
Farther away.
and farther
Yeah.
with every step you take.
Gotcha.
And let's see if this happens to freak you out. Oh, this one might not be. You only need to get a 1.
Never gonna get there.
Let's see what you got. This one is discipline again.
So I got a 3.
Okay. So as you're getting farther and farther away, you just reach out and the doorway's right there.
Okay.
And it's probably just a trick of the light or lack thereof. Right?
Grab the pipe wrench anyway.
Yeah. So grab the pipe wrench in the kitchen, and as Andy makes his way perhaps back to where everyone else is, we will wrap up this episode of our Dresden Files role-playing game, published adventure of Night Fears.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks
can
for
all say
listening. Bye,
bye.
everyone.
Not as good as Bob Seger's night moves.
Working on the night.
Working and
moves.
practicing. on the night.
Penis.
Nocturnal penis.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.